Hi there. Welcome to the Small Business Coffee Break, the series where we take a few minutes to work on your business, not just in it. Today we're talking with Dr. Giselle Lopez of Dr. Lopez is In about why is leadership development so important. Dr. Lopez has over 17 years of experience helping small business owners and entrepreneurs reach their fullest potential. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get into it. Part of coaching, obviously is going to go to some maybe high performing individuals and asking them to start working on leadership development. Why is leadership development important for entrepreneurs and small business owners?
I think it's really important because it's based on what are your values. So if we talked about earlier, you have an entrepreneurial spirit, leadership is calling to you, then you probably have a value for achievement. Like you find it valuable to achieve or to succeed. And that kind of a person will find that, like any skill, developing it is going to be something that's going to be worth their time and worth their investment, because it's going to get them to progress and develop mastery over that skill that is leadership.
It's so funny the way you described that really, I think, opened my eyes a little bit, because you indicated that an individual who wants to succeed finds value in that.
Right.
Wouldn't everyone find value in wanting to succeed?
They don't. People who don't actually seek out opportunities for achievement, don't value achievement, don't seek out opportunities to be successful, in the way that we're talking about today, as far as like entrepreneurship, business,
and making those
they won't
leaps.
Seek that out. I have friends in my field who are so happy, working in a job where they work for someone else. They feel like really great and that their purpose is being fulfilled in that role. And I'll tell you from personal experience, I have an entrepreneurial spirit. Obviously, I have my own business.
Absolutely.
So I always had that itch to have my own business.
That little voice that, like you described it a little
I always
earlier.
saw it temporary. Like, this is just like practice. And this is what I talk to some clients about when they're in that 9 to 5 and they're starting to get desperate to get out. It's like, this is practice. This is just practice for when you have your own business.
When you do it on your own, on somebody else's dime too, which is the best way to practice. Yeah. Well, it's funny because I'm sure that there's someone who's hearing this who might have heard that voice for a long time, but never actually took action.
And you don't even know. I have a friend who, it was because she was a friend from grad school who got me into my last job that I was at for 6 years before I went full-time with my business. I was always part-time with my business while I was there, but what caused me to take the leap, and I spoke to her just sending her a resource. The new version of our diagnostic manual just came out, and a colleague sent it to me, so I sent it to her, and she was like, hey, I've always wanted to have my own business and blah blah. I never knew that. I've known her for years. Never knew that about her. She's like, fear has always held me back. And so I was like, you're the kind of person I coach. So here's my website.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these are the things that that you if you hear that, ignoring it is what keeps you in place.
Right.
Possibly reaching out to someone like an executive coach.
Right.
Even though you haven't even opened that business yet.
Yeah.
Could get you where you want to be, to the place where you can actually move
and I
forward.
have clients that have been either from zero, like in the 9 to 5 with the dream, and not even thought about how this would go, or clients who have already started the business and it's not where they want it to be yet, or people who are extremely wealthy and successful and other areas of their life are impeding their performance in their business, like their personal life or their health or things like that. So even though really the focus that I always have with clients as far as my niche is, students and professionals, there's other aspects of life that, like we talked about earlier. So I've worked with someone who's a multimillionaire in his business. That's fine. But then his personal life, and things like that were what we really worked on and focused on.
Because those were some of the things
they were affecting his business, his stress level, and
were affecting
productivity.
Well, they talk a lot about work-life balance.
Right.
which, you know, I always joke around, it's a fallacy.
Yes, it is.
There's only life.
Yes.
And work is a part of it.
I call it the misconception of balance. That's what I like to call it. Like, and I don't know if that's someone else's term, please, okay, like, I don't want to misquote.
And if not, trademark, Dr. Lopez is in. There we go.
So it's the misconception of balance. So 7 areas of life. Actually, if you Google 7 areas of life, there's a pie chart. Mm-hmm. It's easy to find. And then I use that framework in order to set like the intentions and what am I focusing on, and really only 1 or 2 areas can be focused on at a given moment, and really only one with full intention. So right now I'm focusing on the area of business and social, because I'm focusing here on marketing my business, but also we're developing a camaraderie and a colleague relationship and all of that. So I'm not focusing maybe on my health right now. Mm-hmm. I'm not exercising right now. Like I'm not eating a salad. I'm not focusing on, spirituality. We're not meditating right now, or we're not, whatever. So it's like that misconception that it all has to happen at once. Really, like sometimes when we have one of the areas in the pie chart at 100, then we can shift into the next area. So for me, when I started out, like living on my own and newly professional, my first focus was finance, like career and that kind of thing. Then later I started dating, and then my focus was family and marriage, and now buying a house and that kind of thing. When you become a parent, your focus is more on your children, and some of the other things are already in place, so that's really what is the framework for having success in any area of life, is focusing on 1 or 2 areas.
Right. It's more of a tapestry.
With more effort
than it is
than others at any given time. Yeah.
Let's keep the conversation going. If you have any questions you'd like to ask Dr. Lopez, ask it in the comments, or her contact information is in the description. If you have any questions you'd like me to ask Dr. Lopez or any other professional in their field, my contact information is also in the description, and I'm always available via DM. See you next week for another cup of coffee and more questions answered.